All right, it's showtime. Everybody, hello. Hope everybody is having a wonderful Sunday afternoon. Hope everyone has had a great weekend thus far. Um, and it's autumn, the colors are changing. It's cool, it's crisp, and this is my kind of weather. So, today I thought I would pop on and play around with some new fun spreads or ideas for the channel and those watching on playback and in chat. Hello, Jackie B. Hello, my dear. Oh, it's pretty. Is it more like spring? Oh, I'm so ready for the fall. Not sure where you are, Jackie, in the world, but thanks for popping in. I'll give it a few moments for folks to pop in, but I've had my yarn tarot for about a month now or so, and I need to use it more. It's a lot of fun, and I am, really enjoying getting back into my crocheting. And hello, Kat. Yeah, it was. I had to get the thumbnail done. Northeast. Oh, okay. Definitely feels like fall. I lived well. For a while, I lived in Massachusetts, in Rowley. I stayed with a friend for a while there. I got to visit and live briefly in New Hampshire. And let's see, I got to visit Rhode Island, which is absolutely gorgeous. And even got into Maine, which is also another beautiful area. So, wherever you are, my dear, I'm sure your colors are beautiful and people are popping in. Wonderful, wonderful. So, yep, we have Jackie with us. We have Kat and Jax is here. Hello, my dear. I love that Kit Kat. That's cute. And Roman is here. So, and what else do we have? Everyone's saying hello to each other. So, yeah, I want to get, and I thought today would be a great way to kind of get a feel for some fun readings with my yarn tarot. And tomorrow, Nancy and I are going to be doing a show for the Divine Feminine, or the Sacred Feminine, excuse me. And we're going to be talking about weaving. So, and then there's Janet. Yes. Oh, Janet, I don't know how you crochet those small little. I have, a couple of cakes now of very fine, thinner than regular yarns. They're not a four worsted. It's more of a fingering DK fingering yarn. And I'm working on this beautiful shawl. I hope I have enough. I have one cake, but the difference between the tiny threads and then the regular 4 or 5 worsted. Oh my goodness, and Janet, what you were able to do with that skeleton, mind boggling. So hopefully I'll be able to develop some mad skills like you did, like you had, my dear. So for fun, as we can see, single, half double, double, and treble readings. So um, what I'm going to do is in my book, I have a spread for clarity, and there's 4 cards. And I thought how perfect because single, half double, double, and treble are crochet stitches, are basic ones. So I thought how fun, there's 4 of them. Use the clarity spread and see who would like a reading. And now that we have some people popping in, any of those who knit or crochet or even macrame. I mean, even that's amazing. Quilting, sewing. It's really it's an incredible skill to develop, and it can be also very relaxing. A great coping skill to kind of sit down and get your mind quiet and get your breathing settled in and get to a nice mindful state of peace of mind. Actually, so I got you, Jackie. So anybody else, just type in me in big letters. And Shay is here. Hello, Shay. And Kat, I got back to it after over like 10 years because I kind of like got a little burned out, and then I started getting more exhibitions or exhibits in and around my area, and so my painting was all taking off, and so I set it aside, and finally, after 10 years, I am back, and I'm seeing requests. So I'm trying to find a sheet of paper. Here, let me. I don't have my notebook, but I do have a pen and a piece of paper. So I am interested to see if anybody who does crochet, what are your favorite brands? This is something I want to start doing with my channel. Have some fun. So with me getting back into crocheting, there's hooks and there's yarns and there's fun little gadgets and things and different projects. So now I'm seeing these beautiful like crocheted mandalas that people are making, and I'm like, I don't know if I'll ever get the skill, but and then there's a couple of channels I will like to shout out to. Um, okay, why is her channel name leaving me? Elise, excuse me, Elise Rose Crochet. She used to go by La Petite Crochet, La Petite Rose Crochet, but she changed it to Elise Rose Crochet. She is a lot of fun. Tony Lipsy, TL Yarn. Um, she's wonderful, and she has her own line of yarn out through, I think it's through Bobby. No, Hobby. I'm still learning. So just want to start doing a show where all of us can kind of get together, kind of talk shop, do some readings. Um, yeah, have fun with it. And also learned from Miss Tarot D that there's such thing as prayer blankets that people, when they crochet or knit, however they create, they put prayers. I'm sure those who are witches or Wiccans or spiritual, they can do spells or chants and things into. There's so many wonderful things. How are the crochet mandalas used? For decoration, I would believe, to be able to look at, to hang on the wall, that the colors maybe that you use, the energy um, that goes put into them, especially if someone might want to feel more within their heart chakra, feel more love. They can always get a mandala that's made with the pinks and greens and things like that. It's amazing what you can create. And also Nancy, a Crohn's Intuition, I do the show with on Mondays. She has even crocheted a couple of bags for her tarot cards. So something I definitely want to pursue. So, Kat, I hope you get back into it and enjoy. There's a lot more now since I, new terms and things and stuff. So let me just back up here and make sure that I have everybody who's requesting. Um, Roman Mangold is here. So yes, she is. Let's see. Okay. Let me see where the first person. And like I said, Shay is here. Hello, Shay. And I will be sharing everybody's comments. So let me see. We got Jackie. And I know, Kat, I owe you a reading. Yep. So I will make sure I definitely get a reading to you, Kat, because the last time I just was out of energy. Because I had a lot of people coming in at last minute. So I will make sure, my dear, you definitely get a reading today. And of course, Jax is there. Only made baby blankets. Sometimes that's how people stick to a certain thing that they enjoy doing. But now people are making like cup cozies, and they're the fingerless gloves, which I was able to actually crochet back in the day. I have no idea how I did. Um, I look at the stuff that I did make, and I'm just like, oh my god, we're literally starting, from the ground up. But one stitch at a time, and practice. Yep, like with anything, all it takes is some practice. And Shay said, I've made some throw blankets, scarves, and tarot bags. I love scarves. I'm actually, for now, I'm using something that I had run out of yarn, and it was going to be a blanket, but then I stopped crocheting. But this here is one large size granny square that I just kept going around and around. And the yarn is so soft. I think it's like an acrylic wool blend with a touch of something in it that makes it nice and kind of soft, and it's cushiony because I have a hard table that I read on. So I enjoy using that. Alrighty, so let me pull this back up here because I got a sensitive mouse. So Janet, I use aluminum hooks all these years. My favorite yarns are the Canon Simply Soft. Canon or Quran. I think it's Quran, isn't it? But we know how YouTube does the autocorrect, or typing does the autocorrect. Simply Soft for Afghans and shawls. I recently started using Yarn Bee Yarnatopia. I love how the Yarnatopia, which is like a 3 size and very soft. Oh, Janet, lovely, lovely, lovely. Yes, and I do want to make a cardigan and a vest. I love vests. And Ascending Butterfly is here. Hello, hello. And ooh, chat's jumping. Fingerless gloves. Yeah, to a point. I struggled with mine. Shan still wants a hat to go with the scarf that I made him in. I don't know, with scarves and circles, which I really want to, not, I mean, hats and the mandalas. I really want to learn to do the ones with the closed toes, and you have to learn like that magic circle, but there's so many ways that people teach it. I'm going to start watching and see which one works best for me. And thank you everybody for the comments on my little mini blankie here. I have a couple of metal wind spinet mandalas. Oh, I bet you those be, especially when the breeze and the wind hits and then they do, because I've seen something like that in at least when I was in Sedona in Arizona. Somebody had these things, and the way the wind blew, just different parts would go different ways, and it was just spectacular. And Ascending Butterfly is here. Hello. And can't crochet. I can't keep track. I can't either, girl, sometimes. So I make up for it, but it is a challenge. Embroidery. Yeah, my sister was great at doing, yes, Quran or Karen. Now they have all these things called cakes and the macchiato cakes and all these other things. And I'm seeing the ombres, and it's just like, oh, good Lord. It's amazing. So, butterfly. All righty. Why am I not surprised? I got that. Thank you, Jax. I appreciate that because chat is jumping. And let's see, Kat says, there's a fancy yarn shop in town. Same here. Expensive. Same here. But want to make cotton cardigans since I can get overheated. Got you. Yeah, we have a place called the Webster's. Beautiful store. Beautiful yarn. But one of the skeins that I was eyeing the other night, or not skeins, one of the hanks I was eyeing the other night was like $38. I was like, ooh, and I've already spent a couple. I think for the next show, oh no, wait a minute. I'm going to go off camera here for a second. I'm still here, y'all. I want to show y'all something. So, you see people with these cute little baskets, to carry their yarn in. Well, I got me some cauldrons for Halloween, plastic little some cauldrons. And these are the ones from Webster's, one of a couple of them. It's they're thin. They're I believe they are maybe right now I'm using, I know I should use a 4 something on this, but I have a new hook by Amore. It's the Clover line, and they're the Amores. They just like butter, but the one I have is a little big, but I'm still trying to use it. But I have one of these in this, and they're just so soft. I have them in those green forests. And check out these purples and golds. Look at that. So I really need to make sure my game is up because each of these were like $18 or so. And then these here, I will also give a little shout out, but also a advance. So anybody who wants to try loops and threads, this is beautiful. I know I've shown this before. I started trying to work with it. It is extremely delicate. It's got quite the halo on it. And to make sure that you're really good with the stitches and with what project you're going to do. Because if, one little catch or wrong move or something, it starts to fray, as you can see. this is what happens. I have 2 of these, so I really need to make sure I know. And Jan, anything you can recommend for a fabric like this? It's a Worsted number. Well, it's a medium 4. It's 100% acrylic, and so you know, I was thinking maybe a sweater at some point, or maybe a cowl. I just have to find a beginner's pattern that is in video, or and well, mostly videos. That's how I learn now. Um, but yeah, this is at Michael's Loops and Threads. So, but yeah, I can't wait to use these beauties right here. Oh my goodness. Woo-hoo. So let me pop those back in there, and we shall get started. I know, Jan, I get color. I see, well, everyone knows I'm a painter, so every time I see colors, I'm like, oh my God, it's like just going to the yarn shop. It's like walking into an art supply store. You see all the pretty colors. I didn't want one of this, one of that. But what I really know I need to learn, and I want to learn, but I'm dreading it, is changing colors. Having to cut off one, then incorporate another. To me, that's going to get a bit hinky. That's why I like the variegated ones, because I don't have to worry about setting out, separating and crocheting in the new colors. But there is a video that shows how to do something like to combine 2 strands of yarn, and it's a certain, you like lay them across. One goes over this way, one goes over that. And then you pull in one loop, the other, and then you give a pull, and they come together into a tiny little, hardly noticeable knot, which stays. And then that way you change your color. So that is definitely also a little tip and trick. But I love Elise Crochet, Rose Crochet. She is hysterical. She's even gotten her husband involved with doing some videos with her. She's got a couple kitties. She's got Pickles. She's got Olive, and they're the sweetest things, and they make appearances in her videos. So she is definitely a lot of fun, and so is Tony Lipsy, TL Yarn, TL Yarn Crochet or Creation. So, but yeah, a lot of fun. And Jada and Stitches, which I'm amazed that she is still, because I didn't think 10 years ago she was a channel I completely forgot I had watched when I was first learning, and she's still around after 11 years. So Jada in Stitches, she's a lot of fun too. So, alrighty, let's do a sip sip. And let's see, I love crocheting because it's like color therapy. Yes. And Shay says changing colors isn't it? I probably it's not, but being a beginner again, and me even having issues with making basic chains, because I'm going along making my chains, then I'm like, oh, these look nice. And then when I'm done, I'll go back, then I'll see one odd one or 2 odds out of my link have just formed weird some way, and you could see the line just of the thread going on it, and it completely throws it all off. So that's where I'm getting a little frustrated with. But again, practice makes perfect. And part crocheting I do not like is when I run out of yarn and have to add new yarn to it. Yep, that's why it's good to have scraps and make some fun scrap pieces. And another thing I also learned about is lot dies. So if any of those cakes I bought, I want to make a larger project, continue making a project from those, I'm going to have to get a different lot die. And not all lot dies are the same. There's going to be variations. So that's something also that I learned maybe a little too late. But again, part of crocheting, a part of growing. And then even if it's a slightly different color and I keep it, at least it shows the little imperfections. Like my friend Denise says. She goes, most of these people you see on YouTube have been doing it for almost their whole life, and that's why it looks so simple. It looks so perfect. And she goes, but when you make something, if you got imperfections in there, she goes, that just makes it your own, makes it extra little special. Yes, lot dies are important. Alrighty, let's get going to the readings. So I've got Jackie, Cat, Shay, Jax, and Butterfly. And let's get this started. So ladies, do you have, so exact, actually, this could be a general, unless somebody has a specific question. Jackie, would you like a general? I can keep them general if you like, but I do have, so the clarity spread that I'm using, that, can fulfill a single, half, double, double, and treble, is 4 cards. And so the first one would be the particular situation at hand. And then the other 3 would be, the contributing factors. And then I'll probably even maybe add an extra one on the bottom to see what's what. So Jackie would like general. Okay. So, and again, I am using my Yarn Tarot. I thought this was new, but apparently it's been out since 2021. So, how fun is that? Alrighty. And also at 4 o'clock, Nancy is going to be doing readings for Scott on his channel as well. Sunday's busy, busy. We have a nice growing community here. So that's the particular situation, and I need, so that's my single. Let's get me my half double. Okay. My double. And of course, after the readings, after the show, if you think this is, a fun idea, good spread, any, suggestions, just let me know how I can maybe tweak it. You trust the journey to serve. Okay, gotcha. And so, our trouble card. So, okay. So, Jackie, right off the bat, I got the Queen of Pentacles. So this is going to, I feel like this is going to be you. Because it starts with the particular situation at hand. So I've got the Queen of Pentacles, and I absolutely love some of these cards because they make me think of when I was younger. People remember Rhoda and Mary Tyler Moore, how they would do the shows and they would wear their crochet hats, and they would throw them up in the air and all that fun stuff from the 70s. So the Queen of Pentacles, she is sitting there with her beautifully crochet or knitted piece of work in her hands. And she's connected to the land. She's connected, to me, this card is saying she loves to weave, all the elements of nature into her pieces. And when you hold them, you can feel that love, that energy of everything that went into the creation. Like a blanket, she's very comforting, very nurturing, very grounded. So this is the card that came out for you. So we are addressing this beautiful, nurturing, grounded, caring aspect of yourself that loves to create, whether it's, again, with knitting, crocheting, embroidery. There was another one, some sort of other stitch that people like to do. I can't think of it by the top of my head. Macrame, whatever it is, the sewing, the quilting, it's all there. It's beautiful. It's something that is like a hug. You put your love into things that you create. So that's what I have to start out with you. Beautiful. It reminds me of the fall we are in right now. Yes. And so, contributing factors. So so we're focusing on this concentration of nurturing moment, being grounded, that sense of security, that nurturing sense of security, being able to provide that for others. And, health wise too, and again, YouTube, entertainment purposes only. This is just looking at, cards. So I'm not, focusing on anyone's, health or anything, but it's a card about health as well. And it's a Pentacles, and Pentacles have to do with earth, our health, our sense of security, our sense of stability, our prosperity. And so just being well grounded at this time. So I'm looking at some other cards, and oh, thank you, Jax. That's nice of you. So your first one up is Seven of Pentacles. So perhaps there is something that you are in the process of creating, which is, what she's holding in her hand. There is a process of this is the having to have patience. We have everything planted, everything's growing. Um, it's going to take some time for all things to come to fruition. So not to get disappointed or disheartened. It's just showing that it's just a reminder that all good things in time will come. So this will be considered your half double card, and it's interesting when you think of a half double, because it's like you have one full stitch, but then you only have half of the other. So the other one is on its way. So again, the card about patience and what you are stitching, what you are weaving, what you are creating, growing is on its way, but there's a hint of you need to have some patience. And your next card, which would be the double, is Four of Swords. So maybe time to get back, rest, um, get rejuvenated. And again, with when it comes to knitting and with crocheting, you know, um, our hands and can hurt. People have to be careful about tinnitus and all that. But with this one here, looking at the Seven of Pentacles and then the Four of Swords, is that maybe whatever it is that this is like Jackie's time for herself. So maybe the way for you to relax is to pick up your needles or your crochet or whatever it is that you do and start working on something to keep you grounded, to keep you feeling nurtured inside. Um, yeah, because then your next card I have for the trouble, um, which are the three stitches put together, all three of these put together, you get the Death card, which is about death, not just the physical death, but transformation. New things will come about. So during this winter, maybe going again, maybe picking up something a project that you have been working on, taking time to relax and to work on that, or maybe even needing to step away from that project for a while. But whatever it is, the ultimate outcome is the Death card about transformation moving forward. And we are in that time again of year when the earth is going through a transformation. And in the spring, she'll start being reborn again. So this is the time of letting go what no longer serves. I'm thinking letting go what no longer serves you. And being open to maybe a new way of thinking, a new project, something that needs to be like a project sometimes put aside. They're called WIPs, works in progress. So there's something that may need to be put aside to rest with. But when you do, you go through that transformation. That's when the rest of that Seven Pentacles starts to harvest and come to fruition. And then you'll have that full on project or thing that you're working on. And this doesn't have to be maybe in the physical, this could be health as well. This could be something that is career, home, health, anything to do, maybe even with gardening. It's just something that you are really wanting to create. And with that Queen of Pentacles being grounded, and with the Pentacles being a slow, like the slow moving suit, it's helping you get out of your head, helping you get grounded, get situated, and it also opens up and shows you the world of abundance that's around you. And that will be able to provide, again, that insight for that rebirth, something new, something sparking out of that. So that's what I have for you, Jackie. I hope that helped. And I hope that was fun. I'm trying to make these, it's interesting though to see how sometimes with the questions and the cards, how they, with the way I'm laying them down, that's very interesting. Um, I just keep telling myself, divine timing, it will manifest patience. And that is also the suit of manifestation. It's that physical, it's that material world, that we live in. Um, and Barfly agrees with you. And yes, I'm excited at the same time for the blessings coming to me. It will transform, change my life. Yes, you're welcome. And so up next, I believe, is Kat, and she would like a general. So let's see what we get for you, Kat. And again, after the show, anything that you feel needs tweaked or any suggestions, please feel free. I love polite, creative criticism. So, Kat. And are you kidding me? You, Kat. So this may be a theme for all of us because a lot of mini readings, individual readings, all reflect things that we are going on. It could be as a collective. So you got the Queen of Pentacles. As you can see, I'm shuffling. So let's see. Her number 2. Okay. Let's see. It's her half double. Okay. And her treble. Okay. Give me a second. This is interesting. So again, with the Queen of Pentacles, let's see what the book says too, because I love incorporating what the book says, because I love the author's different perspectives. Let's see what they say. It says she, I believe, that wrote this. Generosity, security, and reliability. So that's another one, reliability. And it says here, happiness abounds if you encounter a woman who is wise, generous, and financially and emotionally stable. Trust her. A couple may progress toward marriage or enjoy improved finances, health, okay, a fulfilling sex life. I have never seen that put into, you would think a yarn tarot would be talking about a healthy sex life. Well, hey, so be it. Health and or fertility may be on the way. Very interesting. So I'm going to look at more of the reverse aspect, because your first card coming up is the Tower. So this may very well be, here, let me see what we're looking at here first though, because you got mostly all court cards. Stitching those colors together, yeah. Or unraveling, depending. So the Tower. So right now there's something going on with a Tower moment for you. Things are being disseminated. Things are getting shaken up. Things are kind of falling apart. But for me, the Tower card can be a very positive card because it gives us the opportunity to rebuild that tower even better, even stronger. We learn the wisdom that caused it to fall, or to cause it to start to fall apart. But we have that ability to be able to rebuild to our own specs, how we want it built. Kind of like, a blanket or a project or something that we're doing creatively. If something falls through, whether it be something with a job, a career, a project, even health, it may be a Tower moment where, okay, we got to pick up the pieces, resew, restitch, rebuild, relook at how we think, how we eat, um, how we take care of ourselves, basically. So the other 2 cards that connect with this are the Knight of Wands, and the Knight of Wands is a fast-moving knight, especially with the wands being it's that energy, it's creative, it's motivation. So there was a this is interesting. There almost seems like to be an urgency, because in this one, the Knight of Wands is going towards the Tower, and so I'm wondering if this is. Let me get a clarifier for this Knight, because it feels like this Knight is like coming to the aid, because the Knight of Wands is about motivation, creativity. The Knights are the doers, they're the movers, the shakers of the course. So with it being a Wands, that's about creativity, motivation, inspiration, coming towards where this Tower moment was. So I think you're being inspired. There's an inspiration. This is either you tapping into this energy yourself, or this could be somebody coming to your aid to kind of inspire, to disassemble and to rebuild something. Your last card, though, too, is the King of Pentacles. So we start and end with the Queen and the King. And the King is the person who is basically the provider. They're the ones that provide the sense of security, stability. So the Queen of Pentacles. And again, this doesn't have to be an actual male, but this is that energy. To me, it's that balance of masculine and feminine energy that's well grounded. And also the King of Pentacles are like a benefactor as well. So I feel like this could very well be a benefactor, in some ways, an individual coming to, whether to help financially, to provide security, to provide whatever it is that is needed to be able to go to this Tower moment where things are going to need to be rebuilt and reassembled. And so let's pull. Actually, I want to pull the Tower, the clarifier for the Tower really quick, because it's interesting how that Knight is going towards, oops, the Justice card. Okay, so that Tower has to do with something with justice. So, Kat, I don't know if you have something going on that has to do with something that's legal, a legality. There's something going on that this Tower moment is requiring some sort of balance, some sort of justice. And I'm feeling that possibly this King of Pentacles, seeing that they are a provider, they're kind of like the businessman that be able to provide finances, banking, institution, not necessarily maybe a lawyer, but with that Knight of Wands, it's like someone is being sent, or this energy is being, let's see, not that I know of. Okay, so there's this sense, this is interesting. The Justice in the Tower. This may be something coming up. Let me get a clarifier on that Knight of Wands. It just feels like that Knight of Wands is heading towards that Tower. There may be something coming your way that may require a sense, and this could be also karma. Justice doesn't have to necessarily be something that is legal or physical. This could be maybe something that's karma. And the Knight of Wands, I got the Eight of Cups, which is walking away. King of Pentacles. But there is that sense of security, stability. Okay, and for the King of Pentacles, I got the Judgment card, which is about spiritual awakening. Also, to me, a sense of judgment. As I'm looking at it this way, okay, let's look at it this way then. This is how I can also read this. With the King of Pentacles, this could be an individual that may have caused a sense of, within you, a sense of spiritual awakening, something that opened, something that they did or connected to that opened your eyes. because the judgment to me has several connotations, again, about being judged by others as well, not only not only the sense of spiritual awakening, but there was some sort of, because then to me, I'm feeling with the king, the judgment, then with the eight of cups and this knight of wands, it feels like, and that's, the reading's almost kind of going backwards a little bit here. The eight of cups is walking away, leaving things behind that no longer suit you. There's something more that you know that's still over, that's around the bend, that's, you know, past the mountain. It's something that you were in search for, that the eight of cups has gotten you this far, but yet there's something more that you're sensing. And I think you're being, and then there's that inspiration of guiding, that energy guiding forward towards this tower and this justice card. Let me see what they say about the Queen of Pentacles reverse, Cat. Because once you start pulling too many clarifiers, then it gets out to be a muck. A woman in your life may withhold money or general support. Be wary of those who appear untrusting or obsessed with protecting their own wealth. Remain frugal in your spending. Attend to all important matters at home and in any romantic relationships. So this could be not necessarily you, but this could be another individual as well that's within your circle. But I did get that Tower and Justice card. Something is coming down. Something's, you know, needs to be rebuilt. Something's being, again, like with the Judgment card, the spiritual awakening that you get with the trumpet that awakens you, as with the Tower card, when that lightning hits and lets you know this can't stay, this has got to crumble, this has got to fall so it can be rebuilt. So that's what I have, Kat. If any of this ever ends up resonating with you, please let me know. All right, thank you for letting me read for you, sweetheart. Let me take a sip. Okay, so next I have Shay. Shay, was there a specific question? Yeah, Kat, this can maybe not even be you, but this might be something that you can become aware of through maybe a friend or another family member. Or this could be something, you know, not to be scary, but it's just something that's, you know, but again, with the towers, you know, it gets to be rebuilt. It gets to be rebuilt stronger, wiser, better plans, better architecture. General is fine. Okay. Okay, so for Shay. Oh, those court cards are loving coming out today. I'm going to have to look at this book with the court cards because there's some interesting perspectives from this author for those. Okay, so what's your... And yeah, court cards. All court cards. Let's see what we got here. So we got lots of emotions going on here. Let me grab one of my pendulums here that I keep by me. So let me see this Knight of Swords. Okay, this is Knight of Swords represent Shay in the reading. Is this court card representing her? Okay, I'm getting no. So that would be the situation. Let me ask you, is this knight, is he a male? Does this card represent a male energy? in her life. Ooh, that's a strong no. This is represent a feminine energy. No. So this is just the energy itself. It doesn't represent. Hello, Carolina. Listening and cooking. So let me see. This King of Cups. Is this she? I didn't think so. This is someone currently in Shay's life. Okay. And this Page of Cups, this is represent Shay in the reading. Yeah. Okay, so Shay, let's see what the book says about your Knight of Swords. So that's the card that starts your reading, the situation, event, and or energy. So this is our single going in. So we got the Knight of Swords, and the swords are represented by the knitting needles, or actually it almost looks like a safety pin too. So anything sharp. So let's see what they say about the Knight of Swords. So this is going to be just energy. It wasn't representing. So this is about conflict and truth. Okay. Expect conflicts and tensions with work, family, or romantic relationships. A strong-willed person may try to help, but leave you to deal with any actual consequences. Consider letting tensions ease before trying to wrap things up. So, okay, so this energy, individual, there's an energy of conflict, a conflict of truth. So there's some sort of possible deception, something to do with because again, the knights, they're the, usually the pages are the messengers. The knights, this is the energy that's coming in, something very swift, something fast coming through. Especially with the swords, it's about clarity, communication, and again, truth, conflict. So there's some sort of communication going on. Your first card is the Three of Swords. So we have two swords and we have two cups in your reading. So for the Three of Swords, there's heartbreak surrounding the situation. This individual may have presented themselves as a King of Cups, which is, the kind, the loving, the compassionate, the understanding, partner. The Kings are someone who can communicate and express themselves from a very loving, affectionate perspective. But what next to that Three of Swords? Your other card is the Page of Cups, and my pendulum said this was represented you in this reading. And the pages are all about, again, messages of their messengers, reminding you of your artistic, intuitive, empathetic. Same thing with the King of Cups. They can be very empathetic. So here, let me ask my pendulum. No, let me see what I want to do here. So Shay, does this sound, so this King of Cups, does this sound like possibly a relationship that you were in where the Knight of Swords energy was their energy that came through and was causing conflict? Because this King of Cups is sitting directly under this Knight of Swords. And with that heartache here, with the Three of Swords, the heartbreak, I'm trying to figure out if this is an individual that was a part of this heartbreak, or if this was a person that's here to help heal that heartbreak. Let me pull some clarifiers on this King of Cups. So I'm looking at this King of Cups with the spindle, and all I could feel like is like he's weaving or spinning, you know, mistruths. If they're connected with that, yes, he's part of the heartbreak. Okay, because I'm feeling like spinning the lies, spinning, messing, kind of churning with the emotions, kind of almost like I don't say gaslighting because it's more of the way of thinking, but like an emotional manipulation, being able to spin tails, spin threads, and here you are at the end trying to, um, I don't say trying to, you are receiving the message. You are acknowledging that whatever it is that he was saying, whatever words or emotions he was spinning, um, wasn't truthful. And in this one here, the page, it's almost kind of like the spindle is coming loosened, like you're loosening the thread. She's pulling it back and seeing how it unravels. But the pages, they are intuitive, they are very empathic. So it was almost kind of like I got the feeling like something was up, something you knew something was up. And maybe, and this event, this Knight of Swords, came in quick and swift. Let me just see if I can get anything else on this. No, 6 of Wands, okay. 10 of Wands, okay, girl. So a lot of burdens have been on you. Here's that 10 of Wands. A lot of not just emotional, because this is the Wands, but it's emotion. It's been a, how do I put this? What was created, what was spun, what was presented caused a lot of burdens on you. This person put a lot of burdens on you, to the point where you had no energy, no motivation. You were sensing something was up. But what we have now is the 6 of Wands, which is the card of victory, of success, of being able to move forward. So he didn't get away with it. But that underlying energy still there. It was very heavy, something that a lot of burdens was put on you. And I see here, not just mentally with the 3 of Swords, with the heartbreak, and with the Knight of Swords, but emotionally as well. So you said yes, 100%. Okay. Well, he's got his just desserts coming, don't he? You don't have to wish bad on people. Things do tend to come around full circle. He's part of the heartbreak. Okay. Yeah, Carolina, I love my pendulums. I use them every now and then because I have to find some sort of consecration, dedication for them, because in the past when I've used them, a lot of times my readings were like 50-50. It was just like I wasn't quite sure. It would say one thing and then the actual answer would have been something else. So for me, I kind of have a hard time. I hate saying this, don't listen to me, pendulum, but trusting, because for me, really, we have to be so careful that we're not the ones, our energy is making that pendulum move. And I know I have caught that in the past. So I'm working on trying to bring back my pendulums. So I used to make them and sell them through the store I worked at in Arizona. And so I've always loved and had a passion for pendulums. So I'm trying to figure out how I could make a better, stronger connection and bond with them, so that, I get a clear, unbiased answer. And hello, Irene, my dear. So up next is Jax, and Jax makes sense, wanted a general. So what we got for you, Jax? So a single crochet, what is the situation? Girl, I can't get the same cards for you, girl. a lot of times too, when we get similar cards over and over, it's something that we're still needing to work on. Sometimes we get so, I know for me personally, things that I know that need to get done, but I know how uncomfortable it would make me feel. And me not liking confrontations or have to deal with certain things, kind of like dig the heels in. I'm like, no, I'm not going to do it. No, maybe I'll take care of it. Something. Yeah. Been there, done that, sealed. There's a stamp. So, okay. So for your half double selenite dish. Yeah, I've done a lot of different things, but I need to bring them out because I have some really nice ones. And like this one here too. I want to go reach for this one, but I have that one too. And what's cool is I could interchange and change them out. There's like a little lobster claw. So if I were to get another pendulum that was similar, I can always clip this one off, clip it onto that one. So yeah, it's pretty cool. Alrighty. So are you serious? Girl, what's going on? Yeah, well, I know you shared a bit already with what's going on, and it's showing up, girlfriend. Okay, double. So I will keep what you shared privately out. So for whatever you want to share in chat openly, that's up to you, girl. So for the double. Oh, she came out again. So the Queen of Pentacles is very much a part of the energy today for all of us. I'm going to dig our heels in, dig those boot heels in, get grounded, and okay, so the last card. 12 times 3. All right. Okay, so girl. Situation. 5 of Swords. Winning at all costs. Bullying. Conflict. Confrontation. I can't really do anything until after Tuesday that I can make plans for the next stage, no matter what. Okay. So your next card with the situation. 5 of Wands. Now this 5 of Wands can be also another struggle, another conflict, but it could be managing, different things going on right now, managing how to handle the situation, how to manage health, having to manage house. So this could very well be, again, too, the 5 of Wands, not just a group of people fighting, but this is like struggles that we have going on energetically, creatively, motivationally, thoughts going on in our heads. That could be 5 of Swords as well. But there is still that turmoil. There's that conflict moving forward. And here you are facing it, digging your heels in, getting rooted, staying grounded, minding your health, girl. You're the provider. You're the one that provides the nurturing, the stability, financially, food on the table. Like before, that generosity that you have. And then your last card, Temperance. So finding that balance, girl. Try to find that balance through all this chaos, all this conflict. You're that Queen of Pentacles. You get shit done. But I'm really wanting you to focus on taking care of your well-being. And again, with YouTube, entertainment purposes only, I'm not a doctor, but that Queen of Pentacles, because Pentacles representing health as well, and with everything that's going on with the Wands and the fighting and the Swords, making sure you are taking care of yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, thought what, making sure you're staying grounded, you're eating right, you're getting enough sleep when possible. And again, finding that balance, that emotional and grounded balance, pacing yourself as best as you can. That's what I got for you, girl. I'm determined to soldier on with love, light, and compassion. It is the way. There you go. This is that, baiting kind of card where, nah, 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 where they try to goat you. To me, this is like the goat card, not the greatest of all time. Yeah. That traditional, they show a guy with all the swords and the other one's walking away. Yeah, you won, but at what cost? So, not getting drawn into that as much as possible. Letting the conflicts, let whatever people want to say, what these are doing, let that shit go. Focus on you getting grounded again in that health and being balanced. You got this, girl. Oh, I'm going to take a sip. And I think somebody else asked. So butterfly. Okay, because you are next, butterfly. I think you are. Yep, we all got you. Sending love, support, everything. I dig. I know her tricks. I stand firm. Let's see. Making sure I didn't miss. The old guardian is a loose cannon. Okay. So. Alrighty. And butterfly is my last reading. And just a quick FYI, at 4 o'clock, Nancy went live with her Sunday show with Scott Scorpio. So we were sure to go over, shout, say hello, and show my Nancy some love. And we'll be back tomorrow talking about goddesses, divine feminine, sacred feminine, associated with weaving. And so butterfly, you said you wanted a general. Making sure I understood that. Make sure that's a general. Okay. So let's get that single stitch out. What are we looking at here? Do you guys think that's corny, single stitch, half double, double treble? I think it's kind of fun. It's kind of kitschy to go with the deck. So the single stitch will be the situation at hand. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, that flew. Okay. Well, we'll keep that. Let's see. So the next one would be that double. It's fun. Okay. And the treble. So for trebles, for people who don't know, the treble stitch is when you have three, is it three? Not three singles, but the way you manipulate your yarn, you get like three little swirly columns. Not one of my favorite stitches. Okay. So, butterfly. You know what song I just got in my head, Butterfly? Is that song by Crazy Town. The song called Butterfly. Was it Crazy Town? Yeah. The lead singer's passed, but yeah, that was always one of those fun songs from the 90s that had a really catchy beat and butterfly, beep, 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 my butterfly. So yeah, so that song jumped into my head. So your first card, your energy for the reading is the Ace of Swords. So you have inspiration coming your way, new ideas, new projects, or clarity is coming your way. And I'm thinking clarity of a situation, because your next card, because the aces are, of course, here's the gift from universe. We put out there that we need this guidance or we need this assistance in any, way, shape, or form. And so for the Ace of Swords with that needle, it's being here. Here it is. This is your communication that you requested coming through. And so the what's surrounding this, the main card, again, is another Five of Wands. So there's a little bit of competition, conflict, a lot of stuff going around. This could be very well a sparring of ideas. So if we look at Five of Wands, this could possibly be just a bunch of creative ideas, thoughts, just kind of so much going on right now. Almost kind of like a Seven of Cups when you have all those choices to make. Here, a lot of different things are possibly fighting for your attention, or you're being pulled energetically because of the wands being energy, motivation, inspiration, passion, all different, lots of different, how they say, all different, spoons in the pot and trying to pull them all out. Or they have lots of spoons in the cauldron, something like that. Makes sense? Okay. So you got all this stuff going on, and how to best deal with that. Tap into your Queen of Wands. I love how they kept the black kitty on here. And don't you know, I bet you that black kitty kind of looking off to the side, but it's got that eye on that ball of yarn. But the Queen of Wands, you know how to take that energy, that creativity, that inspiration and motivation, and you know how to use it. The queens are the, what's that one word I heard someone use once before? They consider the kings the mature, but the queens are the ones that encompass the energy. They are the energy. They birth that energy. So you have that creativity, that inspiration. It's like you were able to take one of those wands, you got that in your hand, and you're ready to creatively pursue. Queens, again, with the wands, they're charismatic. They're very fiery. They're spontaneous. They want to be able to, just run with something. Just really all that wonderful creative potential. Um, the, the fertility of creativity, if that makes sense. And of course, you have that beautiful sunflower, again, which is, it's the growth, it's the sun, it's successful, it's that radiance. And of course, too, Queen of Wands could be also considered a fire sign. Fire signs are Aries, Sag, and Leos. And I want to look because it's kind of hard to see the eyes on this kitty, but look at that. He's kind of like trying to look at her or pretending he's not noticing that. I like to see what they said about the Queen of Wands in this deck. Let's see, the Queen of, where's my wands? This is a wonderful deck. I love this book too. Creativity, focus, and inspiration. Let's see, you'll find inspiration from a hardworking and creative woman. Express your passions. You'll feel energized to achieve your most desired goals. Your relationships of all kinds, old and new, will benefit from your honesty and loyalty. I love this. So she's also a queen of honesty and loyalty. And what caught me here is express your passions. You will feel energized to achieve your most desired goal. So of all of these, one needs to be chosen, but it may take a while because your last card is the Knight of Pentacles. And this card is either acknowledging that you are taking maybe too much time to be able to choose, or it's telling to take. So for me, I'm going to go with this one here because there is so many, and there's one that you want to just grab and run with. Right now, the Knight of Pentacles, again, the slowest moving knight. He's the one that kind of sits back, waits and watches and sees and looks for signs. He doesn't rush into things. So this is the energy of hanging back, chilling out for a bit, and waiting for the signs to be able to move forward into which one it is. Or you may already have your chosen project or create or your project or whatever this could be. This could be also something that's creative as well as in career. But whatever it is, you may already have it in mind. But the Knight of Pentacles is maybe telling you to just take a step back, make sure that everything is as you want with this. It's like he's kind of like the one that keeps you from like the Knight of Swords from just rushing in head over heels. This one's here is like, okay, you got your idea, you were sure, take your time, make sure you looked through everything, make sure that all the T's are crossed, all the I's are dotted, and make sure that, because us fiery ones, we get really creative, but sometimes we need to kind of get brought back down to earth and get grounded. So with all this fiery energy, all this creativity, and all this inspiration, making sure that we're also grounded, to take time to ground it, to make sure that this is going to work, that this is something we really want to invest our time in and to move forward. And so that's what I have for you. So makes sense. Love the card. The color is so vibrant. Yeah, I like these. It's usually not typically my artwork that I like, but I just love what they were able to do with the deck, with the yarn. It's a lot of fun. I love to take my time with choices and decisions. That was perfect. So just make sure that you don't take too long. But at the same time, I think you've got it because, when it comes to crocheting and knitting, we all know about tension and having the right amount of tension on our hooks to be able to crochet properly or to knit properly. So this may, oh, I didn't realize that was still up. Sorry about that. So this is about all that tension, making sure that the right wand, the right hook, you know, is chosen. And who knows, maybe that kitty's expecting you to make him a nice kitty blanket or a nice kitty. Mine doesn't want anything to do with the blanket I made for him to lay on the couch. He walks around it. He does not like it. So I got another cover to lay my cards on from time to time. But hey, it was practice. But yeah, you got it, girl. You got the message. I didn't realize it was Megal's channel. Cat I sub 2. Oh, wait a minute. Oopsie, what did I miss? This was so perfect. Oh, you're welcome. Let me get my mouse here. Oh, wait a minute. You're my butterfly sugar baby. Yes. So did you put, oh, so Mangled is, so that's the show for Nancy and I tomorrow. Thank you, my dear. Well, it is 4:13. I think I am going to head on over and say hello to Scott and Nancy. But I hope everyone enjoyed their readings. I know sometimes lately it's so weird. I know what it is that I want to say, but trying to get the words, the mouth. Remember what show was it? It was one of the okay, so Jackie Chan did a couple movies with that hysterical black comedian that was in The Fifth Element. I cannot think of his name. Remember Ruby Rod? You know, um, and he was trying to talk to Jackie Chan, and he was going, "Do you understand the words that are coming from my lips or from my mouth?" Sometimes I want to be able. That's what I want to say. Do you understand what's coming from my mouth? So, it doesn't look like Nancy is live right now. Really, I thought they were on for 7 o'clock on Sundays. Unless Scott, Scott might have taken the night off. Oh, that's right, everybody. Nancy did take tonight off. She's spending it with family up at the cabin. So disregard. So, because I felt a little bad going over into their show. So, Sorry, I'm multitasking. My bad. It's multitasking. Multipass. There we go. So, and tomorrow we will be back for the Sacred Feminine. And again, everybody, thank you. If you have any ideas or anything that could be tweaked, please let me know in the comments. And I hope everybody has a great rest of their Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. And off to the either to work on the new painting or the next or the crochet project. We'll see. So again, everybody, thank you, and we'll see you hopefully tomorrow in chat. Bye bye.